Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're doing things a little bit different. So I'm not I'm not completely sure how many, because I know the people that subscribe to me are here specifically for horror, and I still feel like this falls into this weird horror category, but it's just something that I had to discuss because this movie is just fucking insane. Absolutely insane. Yeah, today we're talking about Venom. So as you guys know, I'm really into horror, but I'm also really into comic books and just nerdy shit in general. And so I've always just really enjoyed comic book characters, and Spider-Man has always been my guy. Always. Absolutely love Spider-Man. Watch all the movies, the TV shows, the comics, just everything. I absolutely love the one character, his villain that I've always been obsessed with was Venom. So always wanted to see him on the big screen. Always. Then we got Spider-Man 3 and Topher Grace, and we all know how that goes. And then Tom Hardy was announced to be playing Eddie Brock. And then it was announced that it was going to be an R-rated film. Whew. My anticipation just went through the roof. Then they were talking about how Venom's just going around biting people's heads off, and it's just extremely violent. Then the movie came out.
And then we will eat your face right off your head. You will be this armless, legless, faceless thing, won't you? Rolling down the street.
We got a PG-13 mess. Just an absolute mess. This movie, this is one of those films that I watch and just go, oh, this is just them trying to cobble it together in the editing room. I feel like that becomes very evident just based on big moments. One of the main things that I noticed this in is that the big scene right before the Venom title cards, which you always want it to be an epic thing to be able to lead into those title cards. It's literally Venom symbiote attaching to this Asian lady and her walking away from a ambulance that she flipped over. Pretty sure that's how it goes down. We're getting this cool this Asian lady being a badass. Now we're gonna go Venom, and in quotations, being a badass. It's all just fucking stupid CGI monstrosity. The whole point is it shows this and then it goes into Venom. My entire thought was oh, okay, so that wasn't supposed to originally be there. That was a scene from some other time. I'm curious as to just how much this movie got shifted around, because there's just a lot of those kinds of moments where you're oh, the payoff there isn't nearly, isn't anything. That's disappointing. That's okay. Guess we're getting that. This film does the impossible, and it makes Michelle Williams into a bad actress. Which, again, not an easy feat to do. Michelle Williams is fantastic in damn near everything she does. If you want to see one of the best performances from the last decade, watch her in Blue Valentine. Oh, that movie will just make you want to kill yourself. It's so depressing. But the performances are just fucking incredible. And that's why it's very just off-putting to see her fail so miserably in this film. And I think a lot of that... I have a hard time saying this because I really like the director because I enjoy Zombieland, but a lot of this really seems like a director problem. This comes across as someone that was in over his head, just didn't know, couldn't shuffle everything. Because, it's a big blockbuster movie, there's a lot of moving parts, and this is gotta be triple the budget, quadruple the budget of Zombieland, so probably had a lot more people in his ear. I'm sure also there's a part of Tom Hardy wanting whatever vision he has for it, which he's someone that's not well versed in the character, so he clearly isn't going to be I want to do it like this because it's faithful to how he is in the comic. You're not going to get any of that, which that's fine. It's not a huge deal, but it also just makes it even more difficult for a director to add this cohesive vision. Because it's just all over the place. All over the place. The one positive is that Venom is actually pretty sweet. I enjoyed the look of him. I like the weird buddy cop aspect that Brock and Venom have together. It's weird, but it works well. The big issue, though, is that it doesn't seem like Venom. And when I say that, I mean personality-wise. Venom in the comics isn't joking like that. The Venom in this film, it's almost like they wanted to mix him with Spider-Man because he's like quipping, and at one point, this is the moment that essentially made me decide, like, ooh, don't think I can like this in a so bad it's good way. And that was Venom declaring himself a bit of a loser on my world. It's like, what? What? Venom, this amazing character, they're now saying that, oh yeah, he comes from this planet of all these other symbiotes and he's a fucking loser on his planet. You're just setting your character up for failure. Oh, that was really just disappointing, and I hated that. I hated that so much, and at least there's some cool moments, like She-Venom popping up and biting a dude's head off. In fact, anytime Venom's biting heads off or fighting, it's really cool. There's just a lot of dumb stuff. What's his name? Riz Ahmed. He just is not a good villain for this role. He's just kind of there. Which, I mean, I get that it's kind of supposed to be like he's this snarky, like, CEO that we've seen in movies 1,000 times, but he has this weird symbiote side, which, again, like, were we supposed to be shocked when Riot came out of him? Was that supposed to be a surprise? Because I knew that the whole time, and I stayed away from a lot of stuff for this movie. Just the reveals in this film. Again, it goes back to, I feel like the director didn't have a good handle on it, and that they tried to save this film in editing, which just didn't happen. Another thing that I have to harp on is the look of the movie is so CGI. Like, it just feels like there's a layer of CGI on every single shot, even ones that don't really need it. So I just am not a big fan of that. I don't know. It's not appealing to me, and I wish that they had just gone a different route. This was supposed to be a lower budget, just darker film. It's kind of like what they're saying this new Joker film is supposed to be. We were told that was what this was going to be, with a little bit more, obviously with a symbiote, there's more CGI, and there's just, bigger set pieces based on that. But it was still supposed to be a lot more grounded. This one just kind of felt like they were going crazy, but with a limited budget. So then, while the sets seemed big, they felt stagey and CGI. While the stakes, they tried to up them, they just felt small. So, I don't know. This movie I love So Bad It's Good films, and I really thought that this movie was going to be in the same vein as like Justice League. Justice League is pure trash that is so much fun to sit down and watch. But this one, there's just nothing to it. It's just disappointing because it's like they made the film for children, yet it's too dark for those kids to be seeing. Like, you see this movie on the shelf, and it just looks dark in general. It looks like it's going to be a comic book horror film. But it's not. It's just some dumb... Sony just doesn't know what they're fucking doing. They just don't. They just need to hand over all that shit to Marvel. And just be like, hey, so we still want the rights and everything, but you guys can just have creative control. Like how they do it with Spider-Man. That would be wonderful. But at this point, I don't even want to see Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock go against Tom Holland's Spider-Man. I have no interest. Let's introduce a real Venom that actually makes sense. That would be wonderful. Wonderful. But yeah, hopefully you guys actually stuck around for this non-horror review. I still feel like it fits well in with this just because of how wacky and how much it was supposed to be horror-ish. And I still feel like there's horror elements that still has a very horror palette with muted colors and just that darker. There's scenes that almost look black and white even. So I don't recommend checking this movie out even if you want to watch a bad film, because you're just not going to get much enjoyment out of this if you're anything like me. Maybe I'll be able to remove myself from this and watch it in a couple years and get a kick out of it. But as of now, pure dog shit. We'll see you next week.
Hey, you can feel free to hit that subscribe button below and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, or Letterboxd. I am at Zombie Victim on all of them. Thanks.